your host, Michael Redding, and the co-host, Matt Parasini. It's showtime!
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm your host, Michael Redding, and joining me as always.
Yep, me. Good old me, Matt Parasini.
Matt, how are you this week, buddy?
Other than a trash bag killing me this weekend, awesome.
Well, hey, folks, we got a little business partner we're going to represent here tonight, H&H Design. Contact Rusty and Daniel Hosser on Facebook with their Facebook page. They do all kinds of tumblers, special design tumblers, graphic work. So get in touch with those two, and they'll hook you up.
All right. Well, I mean, let's just get right into it. Larson kind of stunk the show up, which worked out good for
Sadly.
you.
Yeah.
In our little chat bet thing there, we have a little chat bet thing going there where we do a random draw of the top 15. Gets one person out of the top 15, and would damn well know it, friggin' Michael.
You know what's funny about that is Willie drew Joey Logano. So he was.
You both had the front row locked up, and I got Bubba Wallace, and well.
But it did take us till Vegas to win it because it just keeps carrying over each week, and well, it finally hit the jackpot for me in Vegas.
It did. So, overview of the race. I mean, there wasn't really a lot happening. I mean, it was kind of surprising Christopher Spell spun out twice on his own, I guess.
Yeah. Christopher Bell, I thought was going to be a strong contender during that race, but nowhere to be found with issues.
Struggled. I think William Byron probably had a car that would have been able to compete with Kyle Larson, but I get a sneaky suspicion. Garbage bag incident might have done more damage to the car than they realized. I mean, they found a beer can in the air cleaner, so that ain't going to help matters.
Oh, by the way, they sent me that trash bag back, by the way. So
it might probably flew off the 43 car more than like. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think Reddick had a really good car. But I guess
I think he could have got around Larson, but Larson was doing a lot of air blocking.
That's what I'm getting to, is starting to lose that good racing that we were in with the intermediates. Guys are finally starting to figure it out, and now it's like a guy moves into the line, and the next thing you know, and they pull him out. That's not a good thing.
And it's like I told you and Willie in the chat. I said, I think if Reddick gets to the top, Larson may fence him.
That's not good. I guess the racing overall still pretty good product for an intermediate. I mean, some of those restarts were absolutely, bonkers. I mean, Byron went from 8th to 1st in a lap. I mean, that was impressive. But yeah, I'm not happy to see, because that was an issue that we were fighting with the Gen 6 car.
Yeah.
Package, and now it seems like that's not great news. But for me, I don't think there was anything too wild or exciting that happened out of it. I think it was other than trash bags flying around and a couple little incidents here and there, but
your mic's cutting in and out of there, Matt.
Oh, is it? Well, I don't know what's going on. I might be having some mic issues tonight. So
yeah, I felt like it was decent. The racing was decent. It's better when the caution comes out, as always. When you stack them back up, creates a little bit of chaos. But I don't know. I really wish they would change a few more things to these cars, but we'll probably never get it.
We might. I mean, if we start getting to the point where it's getting hard to pass the leader on an intermediate track again, I think it's going to have to be revisited. I mean, overall, it definitely seems like, especially with the direction that they went on the short track package we got coming up for the first time here at Phoenix this weekend. They're starting to go away from the underbody downforce, and I think that probably is going to be a good thing.
Hopefully so. Hopefully we'll have a lot more racier race this coming weekend at Phoenix.
I mean, the only kind of interesting thing that come out of this weekend is that we got to see Glovegate. That was good. I mean, kind of hard with the whole hand, every single finger. I mean, it looked like a big parachute you're putting on your hand,
but did it really help? I mean, Joey said on the pole at Vegas. I mean, did I win my case? Was my case valid?
You didn't win nothing. I mean, listen, why would you do it unless you knew it was going to help out some way, somehow?
I mean, apparently they still got enough speed to get the pole.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't have the speed to get the pole, but still, it was an illegal safety modification to a glove.
We will rest. We'll rest this case.
Oh yeah, I can already see you started red. He was down. We were giving him the gears. They're pretty good on the weekend. We were having some fun with it and everything like that.
But before qualifying, I said Joey was going to get the pole, and I said he was going to win the race. Unfortunately, didn't win the race, but it sure was looking good for a little while.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of surprised me, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, Michael, but I think we'll get to it when we get to the results here. Yeah, Larson he won the race. I think he had the best car, but Chevy otherwise was much MIA from the top 10.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's go over the results, and then we can see what we got there.
Well, your top 10 from Vegas. Again, Kyle Larson picking up the win. Tyler Reddick was second. Ryan Blaney third. Ross Chastain fourth. Ty Gibbs fifth with a broken transmission. Sixth was Noah Gregson. Seventh was Martin Truex. Eighth was Denny Hamlin. Ninth was Joey Logano. And 10th was William Byron. Your cup standings after Vegas. Kyle Larson's your leader. Ryan Blaney is second. Martin Truex third. William Byron fourth. Ross Chastain fifth. Kyle Busch sixth. Chase Elliott seventh. Daniel Suarez eighth. Ty Gibbs is ninth. 10th is Denny Hamlin. Austin Cindric 11th. Tyler Reddick 12th. 13th is Alex Bowman. 14th is Bubba Wallace. 15th and 16th is Eric Jones and John Hunter. And notables, Corey LaJoie 17th, Ricky Stenhouse 18th, Christopher Bell 21st, Joey Logano 24th, Brad Kay 28th, and Ryan Preece 36th.
Ryan Preece had the penalty, so that definitely, that 35-point penalty hurt them there. But what surprised me was Gregson. Man, I can't believe that 10 car with speed they showed this weekend. That was impressive. We haven't seen speed like that out of Stuart Haas in a long time on an intermediate.
And I'll tell you something else that's surprising me right now, and that's Austin Cindric.
Yep.
I mean, he's showing some speed early. Hopefully it'll carry through the season and get things turned around for that program. And then Ty Gibbs. I mean, who knows? If Ty Gibbs didn't break a transmission, he may have had something for Larson. But, that final restart killed him.
Absolutely did. I don't know. I mean, being that I'm the bow tie guy on the program, I mean, Larson dominated. Chastain had a really good car. I think Byron had a really good car. But other than that, there wasn't a bow tie to be had. I think the questions about is the Dark Horse Mustang and the Camry improved? Well, the scary part is that look how good they ran the first intermediate.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we're 100% sure that Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, if the playoffs started today, would be in.
Unfortunately, but we know what's fixing to happen. It's fixing to get played out. People are fixing to start settling in, and those two will drop like a rock.
I think Daniel might be right about this.
Wrong.
I
You
think
don't
he's
want
right.
you don't want to start outside of the top 10 at least. You need to start within the top 10.
All right, well, let's move on to Xfinity. John Hunter Nemechek finally didn't wreck.
Or wreck somebody.
Yeah, or wreck somebody. And won Vegas after, and I felt bad for him because I know Nemechek's his teammate, but Chandler Smith, man, he had a rocket ship on Saturday.
He was stout for sure. What team? That's a small team he's with now, ain't it?
No, he's on Gibbs. He's running an
Chandler
81
Smith?
car for Gibbs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. I thought. Never mind then. I thought that was some small team he was with. I didn't realize he went to Gibbs.
No, he
Of course,
went to Gibbs.
we probably talked about that earlier this season. It just went right over my head.
I mean, Gibbs is showing some pretty good speed off the start of the year. I mean, intermediate track. Like I said, this is the meat and potatoes part of the schedule. So now we're kind of getting to see what everybody's actually really got and everything like that. I'm gonna say this though, Junior Motorsports,
in trouble.
In trouble, big time in trouble.
But Justin Allgaier, he started last pretty much and rolled through the field pretty quick.
But I mean, man, Sam Mayer, oof, gee.
Yeah, well,
start to the season, man.
I mean, we're not talking points yet, but right now he's setting 24th of points. And if it wasn't for cars that only raced once or twice so far, he could be farther than that if in realistic terms.
No, I agree. It's rough start for him. I mean, Junior Motorsports, I know I've heard Junior say they're in a hole. They got some work to do. I tend to agree with that. However, I was pleasantly surprised. Hailie Deegan backed up her run that she had in that Mustang last year at Vegas with another top 15.
Going back to Junior Motorsports, who do you feel like is their strongest driver right now in the stable? Is it Allgaier or Sammy Smith?
It kind of hard to bet against Allgaier. History and Sammy Smith, I think he's going to need some races to get comfortable back into the, because it's new team, new car, new crew chiefs, all that stuff. It's going to take him a couple races, I think.
Well, going to Phoenix, Allgaier is going to be one of those top drivers to look out for sure.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I tend to agree with this, but he took a little exception to it.
I hope he draws Joey again.
Joey's not going to be a bad pick for Phoenix. I'm not going to lie. He's not going to be a bad pick for Phoenix.
As much as I would like to have him in a few races, I hope he gets him all season long.
Probably the biggest thing we have to talk about with the Xfinity race probably was the wind on Saturday. That was definitely causing some havoc with the boys.
Yeah, it was crazy. Wouldn't even allow their cameraman in there in the tower.
It gets windy in Vegas like that once in a while. It doesn't happen often, but it does get like that. But overall, I don't know. What'd you think, Michael? To me, it was just
boring.
It was a typical Xfinity race at Vegas.
It was a boring race, in my opinion.
And that again, going back to the theme from the cup race and everything like that, it's like Vegas all of a sudden has become a track in the last year or two, and I'd like to hear your comment on this, Michael. Like Vegas is the track now where it's like one guy's hitting on it or one or two guys are hitting on it and they're stinking up the show. They're leading all the laps. They're basically racing between each other, or the one guy's just got such a dominant car. You just
I tend to agree with that, but then I mean, I think there's like 3 or 4 races in the last 5 years where at the end you got the leader out front and then second chases them down and they make a last lap pass. But for the most part, yeah, it has been a one-man show throughout the whole entire race. And not saying that those other races that I'm talking about was like that, because there was a lot of passing involved in those races. But the last two,
the hard part is that, and I think you'll agree with me on this, is that watching the race in person, there's so much racing going on from like 6th, 7th, 8th on back through the whole field that you can watch a very entertaining race. The problem is that TV
they won't show
actually has, in the last while, TV really only focusing on the top 5 in Vegas. You're not going to see much.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of TV, whether it's NASCAR or you go over to say Flow Racing, you got a leader that's a mile ahead and they want to show just that car, but you got battles throughout the field that you could be showing that would make what you're watching more entertaining, but they don't do it.
All right, Michael. Well, I might as well get to those results for the Xfinity. And
all right, your top 10 from Vegas: John Hunter picking up the win, Cole Custer second, Chandler Smith third, Austin Hill fourth, Riley Herbst fifth, AJ Allmendinger sixth, Ryan Sieg seventh, Sammy Smith eighth, Brandon Jones ninth, and Justin Allgaier rounded out your top 10. Your top 12 in points, if the playoff was to start right now: Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, third, Riley Herbst, fourth, AJ Allmendinger, fifth, Cole Custer, sixth, Sheldon Creed, seventh, Jesse Love, eighth, Justin Allgaier, ninth, Sammy Smith, 10th, Brandon Jones, 11th, Parker Kligerman, and get this, 12th place, Anthony Alfredo. Notables: SVG 16th, 21st, Jeff Burton, 24th, Sam Mayer, 27th, Haley Deegan, and 31st, Matt, Josh Williams in a lot better equipment that he was in.
That's concerning. He's had a rough start. Honestly, SVG, I think, probably would be in a lot better points position, but they lost that motor pretty early.
Yeah, that hurt
Vegas.
him.
That hurt him big time because he finished A down in the running order. So, but Austin Hill, first, and fourth in the first 3 races of the season. I wish I could start like that.
Yeah, I thought that Jesse Love would have had a better race at Vegas than what he did. I thought he might be a contender, but he sadly wasn't.
Yeah, but Sheldon Creed has he publicly come out and basically said that RCR wasn't giving him any kind of equipment or anything like that. Well, if Austin Hill's able to run fourth with it at Vegas, the equipment's there.
Oh, for sure. RCR's got one of the best Xfinity Series teams in the garage. Not so much for Cup, but their Xfinity program's pretty top tier.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to move on. Let's go to trucks. This was a popular win amongst the garage. I think it was popular amongst you and me as well.
Yeah.
Rajah Caruth picks up full HendrickCars.com sponsorship this week and cashes in on the first race afterwards as he wins the pole and the race.
Not to mention, Matt, that he is also the second driver in a NASCAR Touring Series to be a former iRacer. So, with that being said, have you had the privilege to get to race against Raja?
I have never raced against Raja. I
I
wish I
can't
had the
say that
chance,
I have.
Never had the chance to race against him. I've heard of a couple guys that have raced against him, and they say basically they don't know how he goes as fast as he does.
Now, that ain't Malik, is it? Malik Ray, that's not going by Raja, is it? Because Malik Ray is pretty good. He could be one of the next drivers to jump up.
Raja, I have heard a couple guys that have run with him, and let's be honest here. If we're talking iRacing, I mean, you and I have been doing iRacing for years and years and years and years and years, but this is starting to become a testament to iRacing in general.
Yep.
Because the guy that's behind me there with that big smoke show, Daytona 500, that's where he come from. And he is starting the iRacing revolution when it comes to now.
But I find it funny about people that jump on iRacing and think, yeah, that's just a video game, and they're going to come in there and whoop somebody's, you know what, and realize it's a lot harder than they thought it was going to be.
Yep. Truck race overall.
I mean, it. There was some strategy that made it a little bit entertaining, but for the most part, it was another snooze fest, just like the Xfinity.
I know that NASCAR had come out with rule change updates after Atlanta for the windshield bracing because of what happened with the roof on Bailey Curry's truck. So the guys all had to put more bracing and stuff into the windshield to make it more aligned and everything like that. So Daniel's agreeing with us.
Daniel races with us from time to time.
Well, he tries to race with us, and we whip his ass. He beats Wooly, though, so there, I'll give him that.
But, you know, I mean, it did come down to a fuel mileage battle there at the end.
It did. But, you know, Raja they had a real fast truck.
Kyle Busch was strong. Christopher Bell was strong.
Spire has definitely shown up with speed to begin the year in the trucks. No doubt about it. Their program is very, very strong. I remember when we had talked in the preview show with the trucks, we had said you better keep an eye on Raja. Well, we're 2 races into the season and already locked in the playoffs. So
I'll read Daniel's comment. He says, I'm the iRacing Jeb Burton. That's funny.
Well, if Willie's watching, I guarantee that'll give a comment here at some point. So, overall, I thought it was a typical truck race at Las Vegas. I think, you know, the wind definitely played a factor in every single race that they played. It was very windy there this weekend.
Now, starting that race off, I thought it might be another Daytona, but they cleaned it up pretty quick.
All right, Michael. Well, we don't have a lot to say on the race, and I mean, it was just typical of Las Vegas. Wasn't really anything exciting, so might as well go over the results and points. And
well, the Vegas Top 10 truck race, Rajah Caruth picked up the win. Tyler Ankerman, second. Third was Corey Heim. Fourth, Taylor Gray. Fifth was C. Bell. Sixth was Christian Eccles. Seventh, Matt Crafton. Eighth, Zane Smith. Ninth, Grant Enfinger. And rounding out your top 10 was Ty Majeski. Points. Tyler Ankrum leads Ty Majeski. Corey Heim third. Rajah Caruth is fourth. Nick Sanchez fifth. Taylor Gray sixth after a bad start at Daytona. Seventh is Matt Crafton. Eighth is Brett Holmes. Ninth, Christian Eccles. And rounding out your top 10 is Grant Enfinger, but Ben Rhodes, 17th. 23rd, Ty Dillon. 33rd, Lane Riggs.
Rough start for the 38 truck this year. Rough start.
Big time.
Oh, they got busted for something with the spoiler or something. I think it was before the Vegas race, and they had to start from the back. I mean, when it comes to that 38 truck this season, let's be honest. What do we always say is the one thing you have to do to make sure that you run good? Don't beat yourself.
Yep.
They've been beating themselves real bad to start this year. And Ty Dillon, man.
Sadly,
you get
Matty D made that truck look a lot better than what Ty's doing.
Ty, let's be honest, man. If you can't make that truck run and get it into the top 10 in points, might be time to call her a career buddy.
Yeah, I'll 100% agree with that.
That's concerning, to say the least. Anyway, we got a little ahead on time here, so we'll give you guys a couple minutes there. If you have a question or comment for me or Michael, let us know. We'll answer a couple there if anybody's got a couple questions. Anything you want to know, anything like that. And then once that's done, we'll get into the fun part of the show. Yeah. Gotta get better luck on that random draw this.
Yeah, well,
I get the fifth place driver, and Bubba, and I thought, yeah, Bubba, he don't run too bad at Vegas.
Pick.
I thought, well, it'd be all right and everything like that. And then here it comes, can't get the left front off, and then here comes the saw to cut the wheel off, and here we go.
Yeah, and those out there watching how we started this deal, we started out, we all played $10. And every race after that, we only played $1. Well, now we restart this week back to 10, and then it's $1 after that till somebody wins.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it would carry all the way through the season. I don't know why. I just wanted to see it carry.
I just like the fact that, yes, you did win. And the funny part that I laughed about it was that it was Larson, probably pretty close to your number one. Well, Elliott might be your number one, but definitely your number two most hated driver over at Hendrick.
I don't dislike Larson, but I don't like Chase Elliott. So Daniel has a question. What is your thoughts on the new manufacturer separately coming into NASCAR? Or I guess
supposedly. I would say, yeah. Interesting to say the least, because as far as the rumor is it's Honda that's looking to come. The part that surprises me about it, Michael, you ever heard of a Honda V8?
No.
Have you ever heard of a Honda V8? And so that's got me thinking a little bit, Daniel, about it. Is that rumor definitely has, based on the sources that I saw it from, it definitely has some traction, I think. I know that they're talking it's probably going to be 2026 is what they said. And what that makes me suspect is if that is the case, we are going to be looking at some kind of powertrain change coming here in the next year or two, Cup cars. And the mighty old V8 might be on its way out.
Jeff Gluck seems pretty positive it's going to happen.
Yep. So, what are they going to replace it with?
I don't know.
Honda's got that. 6 or whatever they run in Indy.
I guess. Don't
I
give me
can't
the
remember.
line.
It would surprise me if they continued with the pushrod V8 because Honda would have to build a from scratch pushrod. Very costly for them. That's going to be a ground up motor, and that's why I'm starting to wonder: is there a powertrain change coming? I thought it would be possibly we might be going hybrid because I mean a lot of the series and everything's going hybrid and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's got some traction. I'm just kind of my question comes in: where's the powertrain coming from? So, anywho, looks like we only got one viewer right now. There, Michael. Do you want to do this now, or do you want to see if we can get a couple more viewers before we start?
For the trivia.
Yep.
Well, we'll answer one or two more questions if you got them.
All right. You got any more questions there, Daniel? Oh, I want Daniel's opinion. Daniel, we've listened. I want your opinion. Did Michael win Glovegate?
He's going to say no because he don't like Joey either.
I don't take your bias out of it. Based on the argument that he's given and what NASCAR said and what NASCAR has done, did Michael win his argument? I still say no. Willie
comment.
Says no. No comment. What is this?
Come on now.
Comment. What is that?
Don't take sides. Be honest.
Be honest.
You know you ain't going to hurt my feelings if you disagree. I'm Joey all the way.
Joey could run a freaking V10 totally illegal motor and he'd still say, it was legal.
I don't know. I mean, there might be exceptions where I disagree.
Yeah, well, that's like, I mean, we hash, old wound. Darlington 22, for an example.
we could spend the rest of the show talking about that. And by the way, if you're listening on the download, wherever you download your podcast, you can check out our live shows at 8 p.m. Central Time every Tuesday on our Facebook page, Announcer Mike's Racing Podcast. We do the Evil Motorsports Podcast, which is now. And if you live in the great state of Arkansas, I do cover tracks such as Batesville Motor Speedway and the Black Rock Bobby Helms Memorial Speedway and the Arkansas Mod Lights, as I am the announcer for those places.
And also, guys, if you are listening on the podcast and everything, and you want us to answer a question, but you can't listen during when we're doing the live show, feel free to send us a message and post your question, and we'll be happy to look at it and answer it in the next podcast. No problem.
Yep.
You lost.
Yeah.
Be honest, you lost. All right. Well, here we go. It's that time.
It. All right. So, also in an extra tonight, if you can get 1 and 2, it's worth 5 extra bonus points. So,
ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Right.
Who won the first Cup race at Phoenix? Was it A, Alan Quickie, B, Davey Allison, C, Dale Jr., or D, Bill Elliott?
20 seconds.
He chose B.
20 seconds. No, not quite done. Now we're done.
B would be incorrect. It was A, Alan Kowicki.
Hey, I was gonna guess that. I haven't answered any of these. I was gonna say Quickie, so I was right. Woohoo!
Yeah, which,
Good
by the way,
bingo.
Matt wasn't aware of any of these trivia questions here
I
tonight.
am not aware of any of them. So, all right. Well, bonus question, but well, you lost already.
Yeah,
Daniel.
the
You can't
bonus
get
is
the extra
over.
points, so bonus is over. All right.
Question number 2. What starting position did Alan Kulwicki start from on that day? A 11th, B 21st, C 31st, or D 35th?
You're the Google. He's just going like this, trying to get the Google start lineup for that freaking Phoenix start.
These were actually hard to find.
Well, this is hard. I don't even know this one. Time is up.
It is not A. It was 21st.
Yeah, I was going 31st, so I was wrong.
All right. Question number 3.
B.
What manufacturer has the most wins all time at Phoenix? A Ford, B Toyota, C Chevy, or D Pontiac?
Pretty sure I know this one. I'm pretty confident on this one.
We have a winner.
I
It
figured
is
it.
the
I figured it was that one.
Chevy has 27 wins, Ford has 19, Toyota has 7, and Pontiac has 2. And our last trivia. What year did Dale Sr. get his first win at Phoenix? Is it A, 1992, B, 1989, C, 1995, or D, 1990?
1,990.
It was supposed to be
1,990.
1990. I fat fingered it.
Oh, Daniel's going with the good old reliable, if anything else, C.
And that would be wrong. It is D, 1990.
How can it be 1,990?
Because I messed it up.
But we didn't have a right answer. Okay, well, I'm overruling. He gets that one automatically. Can't have all 4 wrong answers, so he's got to get points for it. That's my opinion. All right, here we go. Michael, you are up. Fantasy recap for Las Vegas.
All right. Well, our winner was Jeremy Klein. Matt come home second. Third was Willie Whitaker. Fifth was Dirt Buster. Sixth was Jerry Klein. Seventh was myself. And eighth was Keith 27.
What happened, Redding?
My roster kind of did me dirty. I had Joey Logano, which was the top performer, I felt like. Then we had Chase Briscoe. I don't know what happened to him. Martin Truex, he did pretty good for me. Christopher Bell, I actually took him out. And when the second time he did wreck, Austin Cindric was in the back. And I still felt like C-Bell was still going to be faster than Cindric. So I put him back into the lineup and put Cindric in the garage when I should have not done that. And then William Byron, he got me some points. So
he did, beer can and all.
yeah.
Here's the lineup that I went with, guys, and overall it was good, but I made a boo-boo, so I'm not real happy about it because I went Kyle Busch, dang his pit crew yet again. I'm gonna have to start picking him until they get the pit crew stuff sorted out. William Byron, well, the bag kind of messed that up. I had the winner, Kyle Larson, got max points there. Had Martin Truex, pretty good run there. And then I also went Logano, pretty good run there. But in my garage, I had Ty Gibbs, and I had him in the lineup replacing Kyle Busch. And then right before the end of stage 2, they said he had that transmission issue. And I thought, ooh,
Got a little gun shy.
And I got gun shy, and I pulled the trigger, and I shouldn't have done that. And so, also ended up having a decent on my feature matchups. I won my matchup with Suarez versus Briscoe. Briscoe finished 21st there, Michael. I went Logano over Truex. That bit me. I went Ty Gibbs over Bubba Wallace. Thank God I did. And then I went Ross Chastain over Keselowski. So I hit 3 of my 4 matchups there, Michael. So that was a good run for me.
Yeah, I went Chase Briscoe over Daniel. Lost that one. Had Joey over Truex. Lost that one. Had Bubba Wallace over Ty Gibbs. Lost that one. And Ross Chastain beat Brad Keselowski. And by the way, Daniel finished 4th. Sorry that I didn't mention your name there, Daniel.
Middle of the run race there.
He was up and down. I mean, I watched that all race long. I'm always paying attention to it. Well, this week we got a new points leader. Jeremy Klein took it away from me. Matt, you moved up to 2nd in points. Willie's 3rd in points.
You hear that, Willie? You hear that, Willie? I'm ahead of you in fantasy. Take that and put it up your pipe.
And Daniel is 4th in points. Dirt Buster's 5th. I dropped all the way to 6th from the lead. Keith the 7th. And then Jerry Klein, who missed Daytona on points, is in striking distance of 7th. Keith has 397 points. Jerry has 304. So he is gaining ground.
Really picked a bad week to lay an egg, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did.
You definitely laid an egg on that one. So anyway, here we go. Preview time for Phoenix. Michael, I'm gonna have you kind of go with what you're thinking there on roster's going to be for Phoenix. First race with the 2024 short track package.
Again, I don't make my picks till after qualifying, late Saturday night or a late Friday night. But based off of what I feel like would work best, just going off of what I think, I would go with Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, and Chase Briscoe. That's if you want points. Now, if you want to throw away a lineup, go with
alive. Are you freaking serious?
Huh?
Oh God, we did it again.
What's that?
Wait till you
our lineup's the same. Well, there's no guarantee that lineup I'll use. Now, if you want to throw away a lineup, regardless of where anybody qualifies, use Chris Buescher.
Said last week. I thought you said last week for you were going with the points lineup and you went with a throwaway.
Yeah, I went ahead and went with a throwaway. I shouldn't have. I kind of got, I don't know, confident to throw one away since I was the points leader. But if you want to throw away points this week, go with Chris Buescher, Brad Kay, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick.
All right, and what are you doing for your matchups?
I always forget the matchups.
Gotta make sure you look at the matchups.
Let me go back here.
All right, well, I'll go over mine first. All right, guys, this is the lineup that I'm planning on running with unless things change after qualifying. But at this point, this is kind of where I'm going with it. I have Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, just starting to sound like a broken record, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs. Now, I went Tyler Reddick in my lineup, and Chase Elliott in the garage. So,
I had Briscoe in my garage and Reddick in my garage.
So we're similar. Very, very similar on that. My matchups, guys, this is what I'm going this week. I am going Chastain over Blaney.
I agree.
That's a real tough one.
That is a tough one.
I debated that one back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm going Chastain at this point, but we'll have to see what happens after qualifying. I went Hamlin over Elliott. I went Bell over Busch, and I went Gibbs over Bowman. Fellas, I'm going this lineup is based off of what I heard from the test that they did back in when did they do, December for the short track package. Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the comments that come out of that test, from what I understood, it was that there was a Chevy and a Ford that showed up, and the Toyota had double the speed of both of them. Toyota was extremely quick with that package. I guess it was Christopher Bell that was doing the testing, and apparently he was very fast. So I got a sneaky suspicion Toyota is going to bring the heat this weekend, and that's why I'm going with a pretty heavy Toyota.
Well, my pick for the matchups, I got to give the nod to Ross Chastain over Blaney. I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin over Chase, Christopher Bell over Busch, and Ty Gibbs over Bowman.
Identical on the picks, and I think that's a good thing there. Aiden's asking a question of you, and I'd like to hear the answer to this.
Well, last season we didn't run very well at Phoenix, so based off of previous performance from last season, I don't have the faith and trust to use him in a points lineup.
There you go. Daniel, I think a ore car will win. What the heck is an ore car? Is that a Toyota or a Ford? I'm thinking you're saying maybe. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I think Chevy is going to be potentially could be in a lot of deep shit.
I hope JGR was what he meant.
Oh, AGR car. Yeah, I think you're right there, Daniel. I think reason I'm saying that is because I have a sneaky suspicion that when Ford and Toyota redesigned, I think they had a suspicion that this was coming. Package was coming, and so they might be making more downforce on the short tracks than the Chevys might. Here's I always do this for you guys every week. Here's your good bets from NASCAR.com. Good bet, Ryan Blaney. That finished runner-up in the last 3 Phoenix.
You cut out there, Matt.
I said Ryan Blaney finished runner-up in the last 3 Phoenix races. He's been second in the last 3 Phoenix races. That surprised me. He's finished in the top 10 in the last 7 Phoenix races, including top 4 in the last 5. He hasn't finished out of the top 4 in the last 5 races of Phoenix. Finished top 3 in the last 2 races this season. They're saying he's your hot. Another good bet. No surprise here. Ross Chastain won in November, led half the race, finished top 3 in the last 4 races in the next gen par. Can't argue with NASCAR on that. I think honestly, I think it's going to end up coming down between Ross and I don't know who's going to win it between the two of them, Michael. But I'm thinking it's going to be between Ross and Blaney.
I still give the nod to Ross. I mean, he did win the fall race at Phoenix.
Now, surprise, surprise, avoid Austin Dillon.
Oh, I'd avoid him all year.
Finished 12th or worse in the last 10 races of Phoenix. Average finish of 20th.
Right.
Can you believe this? He has 20 starts at Phoenix. Never led a lap.
So this would be his
21st start. He's never led a lap at Phoenix.
This would be his 11th year in Cup then, right?
Anyway, another avoid. Michael had him in. If you want to throw away a perfectly good pick, would be Alex Bowman. He's in the avoid.
Now, Alex does have a win there, but it was a rain shortened race, though, wasn't it?
He finished 6th, subbing for Dale Jr. in 2016. That's one of his 2 top 10s at his home track. This is his home track, by the way, and they're telling us to avoid him. He has finished outside the top 10 in 11 of the last 12 races of Phoenix.
Avoid.
And can you tell me, Michael, how many laps Alex Bowman has led at Phoenix since 2016?
Man, since 2016? Yeah, you cut out on me.
Since 2016.
50?
One.
One?
One.
Wow, I would have never thought that.
One. Your sleeper this week, you've got him in your lineup, I think, in the garage, Chase Briscoe. He's finished top 10 in 3 of the last 4 Phoenix races, and he finished top 10 in all 4 of his NASCAR Xfinity starts at Phoenix. Got the win in 2022. So not a bad pick. I'm still a little nervous about the Stewart Haas thing because they were off last year. I don't know. I'm still a little nervous going with him.
I think Chase Briscoe's going to be the banner car for that program this year. I thought Ryan Preece might have been the car, but
I don't know. I mean, Gregson has definitely said, I have something to prove at Vegas. So
yeah, but man, that kid is. I don't trust him enough to put faith in him yet.
All right, Michael. So we're trying to get our league up to 15, guys. So spread the word, spread the link. How can we get more people into our league?
You can join through NASCAR.com under Reading Racing Media Fantasy League, and I will post the link in the chat. So be sure and join by those links.
All right, guys. That's it.
Hey, I want to mention also, Matt, there is 43 pre-entered to the Arca Series event for this weekend as well at Phoenix.
Isn't that impressive?
Arca was once dead, found on the roadside dead, where they could barely make 20-car fields, and now all of a sudden that series is blossoming.
Well, I wonder if it has something to do with when they went to that. I can't remember how many years ago it was, but they went to the spec motor, and I think that helped a lot.
All right, Daniel, I'll do that.
All right. So at this point, tune in next week for Phoenix review and preview the first Bristol Concrete Spring race since 20.
Is there no dirt at any of these 3 series this year?
None.
How sad. Although I did not want to see them back at Bristol.
I didn't either. I didn't.
Terrible.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't want to see Cup on dirt anymore. I mean, I think we've had that discussion 100 times there, Michael. We always said we thought it was a cool deal for the trucks to have their own deal on dirt. And let's be honest, they had a heck of a good thing going at Eldora. I
enjoyed the Knoxville dirt for the trucks more than I did Eldora because they actually had to drive. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why they're not going back, but
back. So we got no dirt at all in any of the national series. They decided to abandon the dirt.
And with the SRX gone, we don't have nothing on there for dirt anymore.
No, so we're back to concrete Bristol this weekend. We'll see how that works out.
Before we end it,
Daniel's saying we got to go back to a real dirt.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I want to see somewhere without, not necessarily without walls, but a wall that you can't just forcefully bounce off of and keep going like Larson did at Eldora. That killed it for me.
We both said, I remember we were talking at one point about it and everything like that. Both thought that Lucas Oil might be a good place to put on.
And SRX put on a darn good show there.
I thought we all said, I think, that Lucas Oil Speedway. All right, Michael, any plans? Anything special coming up?
Nothing
What
for
about
me.
on the announcer Mike podcast?
Let's see. What is today's date? Today's the 5th. So the 20th, we will host our first show. We'll do a preview of the Mod Light of Arkansas. As their first race is coming up down at Texarkana at the 67 Speedway. We're going to have Bryce Bowman on and a few other drivers coming on to the show for that one. And then we'll turn our attention the next week for the Eclipse deal over at Black Rock Speedway. We've also got the Wimprey Memorial that we're going to preview for the Batesville Speedway. So stay tuned for that. That'll all be coming up here pretty quick. Hey, and we'll just say I'll save the announcement for later because I'm going to be doing some other type of announcing this year. A little bit nervous about doing, and I've got to get off my high horse and do some research.
I know what it is, fellas, and I told him he's crazy, but
it's going to be a unique challenge for me for sure. But you can also catch what I'm announcing on the Discovery Channel.
There's your hint. Maybe we'll get.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'll save it for the Eclipse show.
Announcement here soon. All right, Michael. Have a good one. We will see you guys next week after Phoenix.
Yep. We'll see you next week, folks. Have a good one.
This was a Reading Racing Media production. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to like and subscribe our Facebook and YouTube channel under the Announcer Mike Racing Podcast. We will be back next Tuesday night at 8 Central. See you then.